Where will it be in 1 year compared to now? How's that?
Does it bottom out?
Because otherwise they'll just
That
go.
wouldn't make any sense.
Well, high and low and when?
Things you civil line like
No,
that.
like exactly 1 year from now, where will it be compared to
Not
now?
1 year from now. I'd like to know in a couple of months.
Something challenging that they're
No, but they're gonna give us a trend for the
Well,
whole
that's
year.
right. That's
Whole year,
old.
okay.
You know, they have the overall stock
No,
market.
we want,
You get in the
we want to
paper,
work,
it says the
we don't
stock
want
market's
to,
down.
it'll be
No,
down
that's going to your stock.
I think it's
10,000.
really boring unless you're in the
We
stock.
want to know the whole trend for the whole year.
It might be down.
I want to know, okay, here's my idea.
Nobody would want to.
What?
I want them to view when Tina Turner left,
Don't even come back to you.
When you turn.
You're right.
that's
I
something
killed
they
a
would
dog.
never expect.
Nobody would
The
want to.
minute she left, I turned.
Well, what do you want to know about it?
Just, I want them to view it.
When Tina Turner left,
I want them to view that. I want them to go view that,
Why?
just because it's something they wouldn't expect. And
Well, who cares? I don't want to test them. Who wants to test them? They did all this other stuff already. Why do we need to test them?
I wouldn't mind
Let's
having
find out something we
else.
can use.
We can have some decent
it's
feedback.
Sunday, let's
Why don't we
try
get
to
extra
find something
votes?
spiritual.
What?
Why don't we get a mix of both?
Under,
Huh? When do we
Get
want?
a mix of both.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Well,
Something
okay.
that clearly you can tell if they're on target, but may have some unknown elements.
Well, the stock market would be a good one.
Yeah, but that would be, the thing is it'll be up or down.
No, there's a whole trend for the whole year.
Yeah, but what if it's,
Then they got to make that. We want a graph.
well,
Graph.
I don't know.
Month
how
by
that
month.
one. That sounds really boring.
Boring.
Unless you're into
Nobody will want
stocks.
my money.
Yeah.
Only the guys would go for that.
Only the guys that are into stocks will go for that.
That's all the guys.
I
Except
would
for-
word that. I got one, but I don't know how to word
We
it.
gotta think of something real.
I want to know what
You have to have some-
artifacts are left in, what artifacts are in the tunnels under Turin, Italy? They closed
that the
those off
Vatican?
years ago.
How about
And the old ancient
the
religions all
Stargate
came
Project's
For
biggest
water.
secret?
Yeah!
I hope that's not too dangerous.
Paul has sex change.
That's a great one. I love that one. I love that. That's fabulous. The Stargaters,
The Stargate Project's biggest secret.
yes.
Oh,
I
I
know
love
I've
that.
explained it a little
I
bit.
love
We'll never get feedback on it, though.
I love it. Oh, we
Yeah,
can, I can get.
but it's
I
so
can get-
interesting.
I can get
We all
feedback for
mysteriously
that.
drop off.
And it won't be Prue's fault because she didn't think of it.
Bill,
What?
I can get feedback for that. I can find that, I can have that confirmed.
Is Ingo with us here
Please
today?
don't strike me dead.
under war.
Hey, what, instead of this, we could have them tell us the stock that's going to be up the most in a year. Then we could put money on it and try to make some money.
Why don't we put and?
That's a little
I'm sure they do that anyway.
What?
Just ask
That's a
them.
little too vague a lot of times,
Yeah.
and what they
Well,
need.
Lottery
you can
numbers.
No, it'd
say
be a
that
name.
inside training, but first you have
Yeah,
to prove
but
that
it-
psychic is.
No, but if you're trying to gain money out of it,
That's right.
it's not,
Hey,
it's,
Prue made millions of dollars.
I don't think
it's
it's
not,
any
no,
danger.
she doesn't, when
Stock
she
market.
targets, she doesn't do
Because
it.
it's-
I don't think it has anything to do with it.
It does.
Does it?
I'm not worried about that. I think it's not really interesting. You could ask Prue. I'm sure she does stock market stuff
Okay,
anyways.
here we
Ask her
go.
about it.
She does that all the time anyway.
Yeah, so
Under
just ask her if
war,
you want the
what,
answer.
are they going to use nuclear and biological weapons?
Very good, very good.
Rest of this
Well, I
one.
think
I
I
just
can
want to know
answer
what's
that.
Yeah, I can too.
You don't need to
They're
target that.
It's a no-brainer in a way, but
They can't come after you because they have to first
I like
do
the
that.
Stargate project.
And
Yeah, the
it's
Stargate
psychic
one.
powers are
Best
based
one.
on
Yeah.
Buried treasure we could
That's
find.
not what everyone
Buried
heard.
treasure
All of
we
them
can
use
find.
That's my.
That's my vote. Gold fever.
Theoretically, anything's
And
possible.
should we put a minimum on it? We don't want to be going out for like $500 worth of treasure.
That's not treasure.
Under the piazza.
100,000.
$100,000.
We can find.
$100,000.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, I love that.
There are artifacts left under the.
How about,
We can go in a
are we going to make
couple-
contact with, anybody want to know if we want to make, when we're going to make contact with aliens or?
we already have.
That's just a year.
I can find that.
Public acceptance of it.
Time frame is really difficult
Well-
in remote viewing, though.
I bet it's not with Prue, because she does the timeline.
She even says that, so
Oh,
I
really?
don't know.
Well, keep in mind, she's not the one that's gonna be doing these.
Well, you can ask, you can still ask the question.
She's already in contact with aliens, so she probably sniffed her nose at that one.
But then what's
Okay.
contact? Has the government already had contact?
Yeah, well, I
Well,
mean,
general acceptance.
Like, who's the government agent in the class?
Questions.
General, 60% of people believe in UFOs. Is that general
okay, how much
accepted?
time we have left?
I don't know.
Not much.
Not much.
3.5
Let's do the
minutes.
Stargate, let's do the.
Any other
Stargate.
inspiration?
Politics.
I think it's time to
9
vote.
minutes.
Stargate people watch it.
I'm sick of.
We
No.
want to, okay, look, it looks like it's going to be this one.
I like the movie.
Personality.
I like the buried treasure one.
Oh, buried treasure.
Okay, let's
Okay,
start eliminating.
Let's start eliminating. How many for that?
Nah.
We'll do buried
I
treasure in
can't see it.
California.
Yeah, the
Go ahead and
war.
erase
How many
it.
for the war question? None.
No,
How many
erase
for the
it.
next president?
No.
no.
Erase it.
One.
Boring, yeah.
One.
I'll just get rid of it.
And,
It'll be
how
one
many
side.
for the stock market question? I kind of like that.
Yeah.
We've only once?
3?
You guys got money to
Did you vote
invest, I guess.
Stargate yet?
No.
No. Well, say you could vote twice.
No.
Three for the
Say
stock
you
market?
vote.
Do we have one more? Joyce? No, no. And then how many for the,
Tina Turner left eye?
No.
That was a mistake.
So we've changed it.
Erase Tina Turner. Don't use the brain part.
tunnel from the Turin?
Thought you'd like that.
One.
We could
You guys don't
expand that
mess
to
up.
other holy, lost
No,
art.
there, I know there's treasures under there.
Let's move on.
Move next
Okay,
project.
no one wants to-
Well, we can just.
Okay, it's all mine.
Stargate.
We get to vote twice, right?
No,
No.
once this time.
I take my foot off the other
1,
one.
2,
No,
3,
Cory.
4.
Yeah. Woo!
Treasures, buried treasure. 1, 2.
See, there's material.
You're up twice.
Well, nobody voted for my game, I
All right, let's have you off.
No, it doesn't win. It's a
Go,
goal
I
of
want the
4.
goal. Go.
What we need to do.
So we-
So we're
let's-
down, we have to have a revote.
So we'll revote for
We
those
revote for
two.
these two.
Yeah.
So it's between these two, how many for Stargate's biggest secret?
And just vote once.
Uh-oh, we're not gonna get
Oh,
it.
come on, we have to lobby somebody here. Come on. This is
I'll
so
go for
They
that.
have nothing
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, no.
left. Pick their nose.
We'll flip a coin if it's
How many
easy.
for the buried treasure?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And who's not voting?
4.
They can't
I'm not
decide.
voting, I don't care.
Go for the president.
We have a
Stargate.
home jury.
Well, if you don't vote, you're going to give it to Stargate.
That's okay.
Then
I want both of them.
So it's for viewing their secret.
Wouldn't that be cool to go out and find buried treasure, though?
Yeah.
All right. I hope the whole building.
Well, that's just more money for the rest of us. There's only 4 of us. So.
You know, I'm
Really,
sure
let's
Prue,
go do our thing.
Prue does the stock market stuff. If you ask her
I
real
can tell.
nicely, she might just tell you where to invest your money.
Really?
Oh,
So.
no, but then that would be
Hey.
front loaded.
Well, we might gotta get the treasure and get the money to invest. Some of us are in the hole.
Oh, who has any money?
Yeah.
That's
I
not
know.
me, it's just the.
I know.
That's
It's
my
interesting,
5 cents.
I'm not interested about any money.
I do have
My plastic is nothing.
this other really good local
The
site.
military project, Stargate.
He's been so right on the stock market so far, but he said, because he told me back in 2000 to be a bear market until the middle of 2003.
Let's work out the tasking on
Then
that.
bear market
Yes,
until
I don't like
2007.
the bears anymore.
How do we
Till
write it?
2012.
Bill, let's
What?
work out the tasking for the number Stargate thing.
How do we write it?
Let's work that out real quick.
All right.
Directive.
So, I don't, military, U.S. government military, Stargate program's biggest secret.
At this time.
No, I thought you meant the target list.
You asked for the biggest.
No, the
No,
Stargate
that I
unit.
don't have any
I
good
want to
secrets.
go, well, they're all the secret.
No, we want the government secret.
Oh, the government.
How about, do you want
lame.
It's a psychic program. I'm sure they have
So
some
it
good
should be
secrets.
Stargate's most classified,
Most, how about most
Hidden.
interesting
most
secret?
protected.
Interesting.
Most highly classified.
How about, yeah, well, we better say most interesting to us.
Because interesting,
Yeah, so
exactly,
who?
interesting
Yeah.
is not
Oh,
really.
Because we don't-
Unless we
Highly
pick one
classified.
But
person
interesting
and
varies
say.
within the
Most
people.
highly classified,
The
most
different
guarded.
things are interesting to different people.
Well, if
so
we
that-
pick
Yeah.
one person and say the most interesting project to
No,
So,
no, not the bill.
or whoever, I don't care. What's approved?
I think most classified, most highly classified.
It might be
Yeah, but it
really
might be like a
boring,
little
though.
rotary
It might
motor
be
that
some
goes back.
secret,
Like Iraq has a
Submarine in
nuclear
Russia or
weapon
something,
or something.
you
You know, it might be like.
It won't be
boring
boring
Or
to
that
me.
bush.
I like submarines.
You like what?
well, how should we
I
say?
think biggest secret.
Vegas.
Biggest is kind of a big word, but I think it kind of epitomizes what we want.
Well, do you want, how
Biggest
about,
is interest.
that's still, hey, what the heck?
See, now they heard what
You
we
talked wrong about the Stargate.
Can someone open the door?
We
Who's really
changed
close?
our mind.
Very good. That yes.
Anybody else want it?
I had sunshine rising warm, glowing up, good, egg eyes.
Oh, good. Egg eyes. Good. Okay.
All right, and,
I give that a yes.
I
But how
had
are
the
we
green
still
large
gonna know
optic
about the best
round
one? It's
controller.
too confusing.
okay.
The best out of all the 10.
Like you write a check mark over the one you got.
Okay.
So that, now you can't use that for another description on something
Right.
else.
No, no, right, right.
Yeah, okay, so you can X
So
that
we-
one out.
We each get to make a check mark.
You get to make a check mark.
Say that again,
That'll be the
Mark?
fastest way.
What are we doing?
This
What,
looks
what,
like-
what? I had a rectangle with a green tree on
So
it.
what, we make an X if we had the same one as them, is that it?
You make
Why don't
an,
we-
okay, this is what we're doing. Bill's gonna lift up an item, and if you feel that one of your descriptors matches that item, you raise your hand, and then everyone's gonna say, yeah, that matches, or no way, Jose. And if we say yes, then you get to X that out, but you cannot use it to describe something else. And at the end, the person with the most X's wins the fabulous prize. And if there's a tie, we have more than one prize.
Would just be so kind as to put that item in the purse.
Exactly, yeah, fill the
Well,
purse
that is
back up.
the purse, though.
Okay, did anybody?
Yeah.
Wait, I got one for the other one. Spongy, comfy, springy, and boingy like a mattress
Okay, yes, good,
Sounds good.
What?
good,
for the purse.
for the purse.
First. Okay, next, wallet. Who has something for the wallet?
Anything that's even remotely close, we want to hear it.
All right, let's
Well,
move
I
on.
said
I
red
have black,
leather band
slanting,
with
bolster,
gold.
purposeful.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's it.
X it out, buddy, you got it.
X it out.
Man, Wayne's hot.
Sandy, do you have something?
Well, it was
Say it out loud.
red leather bound group book of old poetry. I don't
Well,
think so.
Nope, nope.
Okay, move on.
Okay, this Altoids case. Yes?
Ants busy red scurrying with food to gather food.
Red ants are fire ants. That's cinnamon Altoids, all right, and I'm an ant person, so
I've
yes.
got taste tangy, slushy, wet, munchy sound.
Oh, good. Mark it off. You betcha.
Those were 3 separate ones, actually.
I have purple square sign with writing script on it.
Oh, brilliant. X,
We're
excellent.
only looking for one at a time.
Yes,
Sitting by the
Right.
fire.
Can't combine them.
right.
Right,
Sign with purple script.
yes. That's a sign with purple script.
Okay, so that goes in the first. This thing.
I got smooth as glass.
Yeah, that's good. See through like glass.
I have a bunch of long cylindrical pipe-like things that were kind of jumbled together.
That?
Okay.
Yes, I would give that. Yeah.
Cruise purse.
Anybody else?
Glad it wasn't mine.
Okay, Prue's breaking into the chocolate now.
I think you just need to sit down. You need a hug is what you need, honey.
The black pen?
Wasn't her fault.
I
Yeah.
have rolling, fluffy, slippery, pencil-like.
Oh, yeah.
Pencil-like, yeah.
Pencil-like, yeah. Good.
I have a black, written as a black, short black street.
Okay.
Spell it. Black what?
Anything, Alex?
Black what?
Black
Street.
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 Well, it's off of
road?
magnitude. Just a black line. Okay, anybody else? This item. This is the, what is this anyway?
Is that blush or what?
It's got lipstick
Base.
and blush and eye makeup in it.
I have
And a mirror.
square, bright, boxy, bright.
Oh, yeah, good.
Never
Oh.
Ah, good.
I don't know, I wrote round disc shaped
I didn't say,
pie
I
pan
saw
with
this, I
edges,
didn't,
but
what is it?
round disc shaped pie pan with edges. It's-
Never
Yeah.
take that dancing, do you? I got dancing.
No.
Base case.
Yeah,
Face.
I put a
I
question
had,
mark by it.
I had this rectangle.
But I love
with like a
dancing.
ladder on it. I don't know, does that qualify? Rectangle with a ladder shape on it.
Oh, yeah, open it up. Open it up. Yeah, open it up. See?
I should have never given that deal last night, I tell you.
Well, it's got more on the inside.
He's
huh?
good to this.
He was up.
All right, well, take your word for it. I'll take it forever.
It's totally, you drew exactly what it looks like on the inside.
Oh, great.
Little compartments.
Lipstick?
Okay, I got, let's see, where is it? Shoot, where's it?
Yeah? Go for there?
Rapidly, shoots rapidly upward with force like a tree. Because it's like.
Yeah, because it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, how about a couple sitting by the fire?
How about
They
you,
could be just
Sandy?
sitting, you know.
Ah!
I don't know about this
Kissing
one.
with you.
Everything's in my dreams, right?
I figured lipstick would be-
I had this thing, I called it a street light.
A street light.
It doesn't
Street
glow,
light, that
so
cheap.
I won't.
I don't have glow-in-the-dark lipstick in there.
You would- Now, flying machine in there.
No.
Right.
Moving on to my second chocolate.
This,
Oh,
I got man.
Chewbacca. Oh, yeah, you got the hairy guy. Yeah, man, Fortune.
I put
The hairy guy she got?
What'd you hit, groundhog?
groundhog squeaking.
Oh, groundhog, yeah.
Stretch.
That's a,
I got gray and dangerous and scary like a wolf with sharp white teeth.
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah, that's Chewbacca, you bet. Yeah.
Nothing like a ghost in there, I guess. Huh?
Is this map part of it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I think I hit that. Blue water body steaming above itself.
No.
No.
No,
Wait.
I
the
had
spa,
an
the
Olympic.
Oh, it's Olympic Spa. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Olympic above itself.
Oh yeah, and they've got 3 big like spa pools there. Yeah. Okay.
I have Greenland Travel Directions Group
Oh.
of Informed People.
Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
I've got a spacious,
Perfect.
open, calm, and serene area that is spread out flat and to the sides.
Oh yeah, that's
Does it have
good.
a
Are there any
cornfield
cows
in there?
there?
No.
Are there cows there?
No,
No cornfield.
there may have been at one time, but there are not today.
Might be a ghost and we just don't know it.
Okay.
Any ghosts?
These cards,
Business
What's
cards
the
or
name
the
of the
business cards,
representation.
business cards.
Or the
What do they
representation.
represent?
Oh,
People.
a producer,
Fire.
a reverend,
Slide machine?
2 reverends.
Okay, reverend.
It's the same Reverend. I've just got 2 of her
Is
cards.
anybody a healer like an energetic?
Yeah, she's an energetic healer. That's what she is.
I have energetics, physics, waves, power to homes.
Oh, that's the Channel 4 guy. I'd give that for the business card.
Ghostbuster, maybe? No.
I have, looks like stretched or structured flat, multi-level, structured purposeful. Not quite.
I don't know.
No.
Proof backwards question. That compact, does it have blue in it? Is there a blue one?
No.
Okay, there's no blue.
She's not Blue Island, okay, girl.
There's a blue.
This envelope,
There's no blue, okay. Then I won't.
That's what we got.
envelope with Prue on it.
No.
There's no peanuts.
This yellow piece of paper, oh, it's actually opens to be
It's a receipt.
a receipt, a yellow receipt.
So what does it represent?
The day's in.
Days in.
Days in.
Unless there is a cow there.
With men on horseback, rounding them up.
Maybe it was a ram.
Yeah, maybe. Then they sit by the fire and dance with the ghosts.
Okay, nothing. And this is lipstick again?
Sorry. Bit of a lipstick junkie.
Lipstick.
It's a lip gloss.
You can lump all the lipsticks.
Together, I would
Okay,
think, yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
have anything?
Well, they're different colors, so.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, they're all in the same color. They're all, purplies. I do the purpley, coppery colors.
I don't know, small booth?
A small booth?
I was thinking of a telephone booth, but
Yeah, well,
Nah.
nah, that's a stretch.
Especially if you're thinking of telephone.
a blue thing.
It's got 3-dimensional butterflies on it. It's an emery board for your fingernails.
Green, maroon, cream.
And butterflies.
Okay, I've got hard and rough like cement, scratchy.
Oh, perfect, perfect, excellent.
Boy, excellent. Oh, this is another lipstick, so.
You never know. She never knows.
That's right.
And every time I go to the store, I buy more.
Short lip or a pen.
That way, black shoes. You can't have
And you can never have too many lipsticks,
That's
okay?
right. And admitting it is the first step.
Anybody have more for a pen?
Admitting it's the first step, that's right.
Put those in there.
I can pay
Pens,
anytime I want.
last call for the pens. Keys.
It's to my mail drop.
Round, disc-shaped pie pan with edges.
Oh.
Is any of them?
Nah.
What did you give me for this drawing?
Hey, what about
Hey, yeah,
the
that's a
key
key.
holder?
Yeah, that
What
looks
about the
good.
key holder?
It's plastic.
Round, disc-shaped.
Says mailboxes, etc. on it.
All right.
All right.
Might be ghosts in there.
A watch.
Time machine.
Oh, excellent. Yes, perfect.
And a bracelet.
With real flowers.
Sterling
Encased
silver
in glass.
hinges.
Okay. Yes.
What do you have?
Yes.
Sparkling like silver, glinting, expensive,
Oh,
and
yeah,
finely
absolutely.
crafted.
Very. That's perfect. In fact, I want to wear it right now.
Yes, well,
It is. Yes.
Why
It
don't
was
you wear some
expensive.
lipstick?
yeah, model.
I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
I know it. Yeah, I have all this lipstick and I don't wear very much of it. Go figure.
Anybody have?
It's my mother's influence. It was the influence of my mother. My mom's a lipstick lady.
Subject facing, commanding, directing, communicating.
Oh, really great.
I have
Excellent.
human ear listening.
Oh, perfect. Whoa, man. Woo!
Well,
After the
that's
first
great.
10 lessons,
Too many are
great.
listening.
Man, these tanless are awesome, aren't they?
Yeah, great tool.
Maybe some more. were.
Yeah.
Is that money part of it?
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
money.
And the clip and the fortune.
What about round disc pie shape?
That's it.
I put my name on mine.
That's it. That's the money.
That's the money.
Yeah.
That's the money.
money?
Yeah, it's quarters.
I've got yellow, golden, lifelike majesty.
Oh yeah, that would be the. I would think that's money. Majesty, because they all have, you
A
know,
little clip
figures
and a
on.
fortune, piece of paper. And the fortune says,
Yes?
The love you seek resides within you, or something like that.
Oh.
sweet, and a lot of numbers.
Safe like comfy preferred clothes of blue.
No.
Okay.
No, sitting with
I don't know what, maybe the fortune is what.
We've already done the pen, so that's in there. So that's all done.
Okay. Let us.
Bill might have this.
How many
but we
X's?
got a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4,
8.
7.
6, 7.
I got
Seven.
7.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We're tied.
8.
7.
How much you get, Wayne?
6.
6. How much you get, Fortune?
3.
7.
7.
All right. Woo. Okay.
You're the winner.
Pick your prize. You have 4 prizes to choose from.
Can I touch them?
You can touch them.
Lick them?
Do it. Well, don't lick them, but you can touch them.
Ooh, that might be a CD. I think I want that.
Okay.
May I open it?
You may open it. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's a CD that I burned myself. It's all of my very favorite songs in the world.
Thank you! Oh, you know how
It's
much
my
I love
Magic
music.
Mix CD.
You know
Now
how much I
maybe
love
the title
music.
would be Minna and Horace.
Could you read the songs? I'd like to know.
Maybe we got that.
Well, hopefully it's...
I don't have a list of the songs in the
You know-
package, but
You'll have to email Sandy for it.
you have to email Sandy for the list. It's quite.
I'm sure she'll come home and listen to it right away.
You're
I
welcome.
love music. I mean, oh yay.
It's perfect for singing.
I want you to
Yeah.
autograph
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I already put Prue's music mix
I
on
know,
the cover.
but on the
I'll
table.
autograph
We'll
it.
do it later.
Thank you.
I like all kinds. That happens to have some bluegrass on it, and it happens to have some Native American music on it, and it has some kind of more rock music on it, and it has, I think, Japanese flute music on it. There's 14 songs.
Thank you.
All right. Woo.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay, now the homework. The homework session, metallic toast. And that was the Beatles concert in New York City at Shea Stadium.
Oh, great.
Separate water.
What? There's water. There's water there.
I should have did one of the tin with
Okay. I got New York City.
All right.
I got water, but I got into the Twin Towers thing.
Yeah.
New York City's surrounded by water.
It's surrounded by water. It's right next to, was it LaGuardia? Shea Stadium's right next to LaGuardia. So the flight path goes right over Shea Stadium. And right next to it, there's, because I've been there, is a big park, and there's a huge, like, world. Like a big, metallic, huge sculpture of the world.
Oh, like a globe?
Like a globe. For the World's Fair, right.
Sparkle?
Yes. Oh, hey, that's exactly what it looks like, too. It's got a base and a big thing around it.
The first Men in Black, that has that big logo.
That's right.
Sparkle like a disco ball? Or
Yes,
tiny-
it does.
The
It's
concert sparkled.
yeah, the concert
I had a
sparkled.
disco bar sparkle.
Yeah, for the music. Excellent. Did anyone get the 4 Beatles?
I got it, some dead ones.
Anybody need bugs?
Yeah, 'cause sometimes it comes up that way as a representation of the Beatles.
No.
Bugs. Bugs.
You got bugs?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Nothing cold, icy, what was the weather?
Anyone draw 4 figures?
3.
I have 4.
All right, let's see.
Hey.
But I thought it was a family.
I got
Oh, he just 4 in a row, holding hands. Woo! And they are like a family because they work together all those years. Excellent. That's great.
actually did good on the sketch.
Cool. Good job, Alex.
Jacket, and then I got dead.
I got floating dancing
All right.
people, also like stars sparkling.
Mm.
Outside,
Excellent.
about daily lives, mundane,
Multicolored
normal,
flame.
fence barrier, blocking.
Wow.
I actually did good on the general sketch. It's like a miracle.
You did what?
I actually did good on the general sketch.
All right. All right.
I got the dead ones.
Yeah, I like the four
I got-
silhouettes. I always do
I
a
did
silhouette.
dead, some dead, and then I got dead. And
Wow.
I got panic.
Fortune
I
got
got
four
four
subjects.
subjects.
All right, fortune. Woo!
I think it's a symbol like the ace of spades, that ace six, is that, I mean, the symbol of spades, I guess, seven. I never knew what that meant.
Loud screaming noises, does that count?
Yes. Are you kidding? Did you get, lots of loud screaming women throwing themselves at him?
Performance,
Performance, yes.
theater, ticket
All right.
taking.
Ticket taking. All right, girl.
Fences, chairs, benches, panic running. Can I get it back?
Yeah, that does kind of fit though.
Anybody know what the ticket price was for this concert?
That was the panic.
Maybe it was $15.
Small, $3.50.
Oh, really?
I've seen Paul McCartney and I saw George Harrison.
I saw the Beatles.
I saw
I was
that
doing the
four
Hear the Damn
times.
thing.
Had airplanes in it, right?
Sent the fifth grade.
Cool. Guys, you guys did
Jim
great.
Morrison almost fell off the pier in Venice,
Yeah, I've seen Morrison.
watching himself in the
Oh, here's mine. And here's a guy kind of out of it.
Ocean, I think.
It's right by the water. It's right by the water.
little stripes on it.
Water, but
It's an open air facility.
What was the weather?
Nighttime, cool.
Wood, surface, summer, hot, warm, gated, grass, bugs flying, white fence,
Bud.
2 stories,
That's great.
man-made structure.
Yes,
Yes.
is it muddy by any chance?
yes. Filthy.
Filthy. It's filthy.
That they were inside.
Stadium,
There's a open air stadium. Yeah.
huge,
That's
where the Mets play.
Oh, here's stairs.
You drew it there, right? Wayne, that's what you drew right there, the stadium.
There's
Yeah.
electronics, some kind of transmitter,
Well,
electronics.
It's great. You guys are doing awesome.
But then here's the dead ones. I hit on the dead
Light,
ones.
something like Northern Lights light show, they kind of like.
Cool.
There's a light, well, there's lights, but there wasn't really what they call it.
Now, how did the session feel? Doing it by yourselves, going through the matrix? Any questions on that so far? On what you've gone through in the matrix to right now?
I hit
Flying shop,
guard,
castle like
panic, there was panic.
The matrix is starting over. I mean, the matrix is a separate viewing, right? You don't go S and then look at what you've done before, but, I mean, you don't go from, you just, what comes to your mind, you hit S, right?
What you've done, what I've taught you so far is, you don't go back and review. Yeah, but I'm talking about going back and reviewing right now. Yeah, okay. So,
tall pretty tall columns going in there.
cows?
Columns.
Oh, columns. Oh, sure, I'd be behind the stadium, as part of the structure of it, yeah.
Anybody have any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I woke up at 4 and I walked up to Denny's and I did this in the restaurant. They were playing music and I noticed that was very distracting. So,
Some people can work well in noisy places and some people require absolute
I
silence.
did this in Denny's, so I guess it was okay.
Yeah, see, I think that operational viewers should be able to view under any circumstances. It doesn't mean that you'll get your absolutely best pristine data under those circumstances, but I think that people should train themselves.
Okay.
Because I have worked with viewers over the years who refuse to work under noisy circumstances, and they get just too caught up into having everything so perfect that it arrests them in a way. They never develop past that point because they're stuck having to have it perfectly
Anything look
quiet.
like that thing?
I don't know. Hey, Mike, anything look like that?
These were like
Sandy.
hanging down.
But Monocle always
There
says, don't
wouldn't
look for
be hanging
excuses
lights
not
or
to
something.
view. Yeah, so if you're doing fine, don't worry about it, you're doing
Okay,
fine.
I was just concerned because I had to go to my Zen place of no mind and
But it's
then,
good practice.
and then,
See, you did well, so you can.
Yes, sir.
thank you.
The Beatles were born in England.
Because sometimes what happens is, everybody has their.
Are they from outer space? I don't know.
And then you
I
have a
mean,
speaker session and you think.
Their music has stuck more than any other music ever. It's amazing, isn't it? All those songs.
Then people go, oh, I can't.
Three men and no women in outer space.
But
Oh, weird.
3 men and no women.
Because John Lennon was dead.
Yeah, because the
Yeah, but
He's not present.
It's kind of like those football players like to wear their lucky shirt.
George
Their
Harrison
lucky
died
shirt
too,
did
but he's
not
still
throw the
present for
ball.
him. John
Right.
Morrison got 20
I
years.
just wondered.
Yeah.
Star blasts off into space.
Rock star, blasting.
That's great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Rock star.
Excellent. That is great. Yeah, that's really
He's a bigger
good.
rock star than the Beatles.
Yeah. They were the biggest of all time.
Yeah, still are, maybe in some
But I eat
people's
people at least that's an account.
This is great.
Yeah.
Just like I wrote.
I got like white
Wow.
album,
You know what?
shooting, fear,
I was happy with it.
theater.
Yeah, he's got, you know, I use something
Benches,
for my poetry, like I'll pick out certain phrases and stuff. I find like
What?
creative writing is good for
The news? Did you get the news?
And it came out rather like, I mean, like a FB, kind of like a poem.
Oh, is that one yours? Or is that one of...
I'm
Yeah,
trying to see if it's
Huh.
power outages up and what excuse they're gonna give for it.
exactly.
They use it for
They usually just what, give an excuse like sometimes.
Transformer blue or, yeah. Exactly.
Psychic powers.
Exactly.
The woodpecker sound that made pretty crappy.
Yeah.
Cherry.
That would have quite a
I just was,
paraphysicals, yes. I know there were.
Yeah.
Because there were tens of thousands of people, so you know
there had to be
paraphysicals
something.
it's something like just feeding off the energy.
oh, yeah.
You know.
Okay, well, let's move on. We've got so much to cover today, and we lost some time with the power outage. So let's get back into the matrix. I don't have a whiteboard to work with, so you're just going to have to listen carefully to what I say.
Does it unhook?
No.
No, I mean, there's no stand for it, you know, there's no easel for it.
Put it on
Oh, we'll be all right.
We'll be okay. This is what I'm going to talk about now. You don't need to see it on the board. When you get, after you've gone through the matrix, done at least two swipes through, like we were talking about yesterday, 2 passes through the matrix. The next thing that you do is you go back to your pictograph sketches or your general sketch. You can choose which is the most interesting to you.
Pictographs.
Oh, that's the part D in the scans. And may I see one of your general sketches, please? Perfect. Okay, here we go. We've got a general sketch here. Now what you do is you pull out your general sketch if it has all the elements together, or if you really like one of your scan sketches, you can pull out one of those. And you start to approach the session now like more of a detective. Up to this point, you've been using straight intuition and just getting what you get when you probe certain kinds of things, letting things flow. Now you're going to have a little more self-direction in the session. So you take your general sketch and you look at your elements and find something in the sketch that you want to start working on first. Now, if this were my sketch, I might start with this thing that looks kind of like a satellite with the energy coming out because it's interesting to me. One thing you have to come into this with is the idea that even if you draw a satellite, this may not be literally a satellite. It may be a representation of some kind of idea. So you take your pen and you probe this. And if it feels, you go for the very basic gestalt first. Ask yourself, this looks like a structure. Is it a structure? Probe it and find out if it is. And if it is, then write structure in your matrix. And you would write that under physicals because it's a physical item.
The gestalt that you're talking about is the one of the 6 little...
Yes, one of the, yeah. Declare whatever you're looking at first to be one of the 6 thingies. And what, okay, I need I need a piece of paper. Yeah. And may I borrow your pen for 2 seconds?
You can have it, I have it.
Okay, cool, thank you. Yeah, that would be great.
Information comes to the viewers in general when you're doing that. Like, if you want, what is it, one of these 6 things? You get a picture of a building for a structure? Or?
No, you probe it and you just know the answer. You literally probe it to it. Ask, is it a structure? Probe, and you'll know yes or no. I have the hiccups, pardon me.
Is this part of the matrix?
What?
Yes or no matrix?
This is, you're in the matrix. Say you've done your 2 swipes and you ended right here. You had to get a new page out to get the last symbolic and you drew a star. Okay? So now we're going to start probing our sketch. If you're working on your general sketch, just write a GS and circle it in the middle of the page wherever you left off to notify yourself or the analyst later that you're going to be probing your general sketch.
Oh, so you do another matrix page set up like that then?
Well, or you start from wherever you left off. So if you were done probing the matrix and you ended up halfway through, start probing, the second half of the page, or grab a new page, whatever you want to do. But you're going to be working in the matrix the rest of the session, except for some other things we'll cover later today. So GS, circle it, and you start probing. So start probing the structure. You'd write structure down in physicals. And then start asking yourself basic questions like a forensics detective would ask. Oh, this is great. Thank you.
So you can
Yeah,
draw on there and
that's perfect. Thank you, thank you.
use these.
Okay.
Say, should we
Perfect.
be quiet about this event?
No, be honest about it.
Yeah, be honest about everything in life, and this event included. People will think we're nuts, but it is what happened.
We'll be on the news anyway, I'm sure, so.
Yeah, the power outage will be on the news. People can call, SDG&E. So you probe it. So now we're going to probe. I'm going to make a fake general sketch because I don't mark this up, sweetie.
Ask yourself questions about the general sketch or the object that we're probing. Ask yourself questions.
Well, hold on. Okay, so we've got, I don't know, this is our general sketch. So I'm going to start probing this structure. So first of all, I find, is it really a structure? Because it might be a concept or an idea. You might probe it and say, you know what? It's really just an energetic, but I'm drawing it this way. So probe it. Structure. You write down structure in the matrix. Then ask yourself very basic questions. Is it hard or is it soft? It's hard.
Back here just a little bit. Everybody else.
Oh, so sorry, guys. So you write down hard, and that would be under concepts. Could go under sensorials, okay?
Is hard under concepts or
Okay.
sensory?
If you wanted to be philosophically correct, hard and softer concepts. However, most people tend to associate with the more tactile senses, so you could put it under sensory.
Doesn't matter.
Frankly, I don't give a shit. Stick it wherever you want to stick it.
Well.
I'm sorry, I'm on tape. Okay, then ask yourself, okay, is it big or is it small?
Do you want us to go down the categories of the matrix?
It's
like
big.
ask those kinds of
You can go down the categories of the matrix if you like. It's a good way to approach it. But you can also ask things that are more complicated than what the matrix would suggest. So that's what I was doing, was kind of going to magnitudes next. Big or small? Well, big. What shape is it? Oh, it's tall and square. So tall here, square. And then you might all of a sudden get an image of it or an idea that it's tall and square, but it has a rounded edge and there's strange pointy things poking out of it. Instead of having to write all those words in all the columns, do what we call an IS, which IS stands for intuitive statement. So you write IS dash, and then you write your whole sentence here right across the page. So you might write, let's see, tall and spiky with a blah, 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 okay?
And this is in the landscape form.
This is in the landscape form, just this regular matrix page. Then, after you get as many aspects of the appearance as you can, then start going after more complicated questions like, is it static or is it moving? Don't assume anything. Just because you drew it and didn't draw it moving in some way doesn't mean it's truly stationary. You may just not have discovered that yet. Find out if it's still or if it's moving. Probe on the lines to find out what this material is. You can probe all the different parts of it. This material, that this might be metallic, but this might be cement. Don't assume because you probe here and get cement that the whole thing is cement-like or cement, in fact. What was that?
A big paddy wagon to come and get us.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I understand.
It's the camo dudes.
Yeah, it's the SWAT team. They're after us.
It's the Stargate wagon. We're all going to be put into a secret government facility right now. That's right, exactly. That is the secret. Okay, so you probe and ask yourself questions about the materials, the composition, the size, the relative size. Is this big? Is it small? How big is it? What is the activity that's occurring here? What, and then probe outside of it. Because what if this was some weird thing under the water? You would never know if you just kept probing this and didn't probe around it. Don't assume, because you didn't get fishies in water, that this is just on the land. It might be floating in space. Probe underneath it. Probe all around it. Find out as much as you can. This should take you some time getting through your entire sketch. When you're done, this is no. You're not going to learn M2 in this class. M2 and M3 and M4 are just variations on the matrix that some viewers use. Most viewers use the M1 like you guys are using. In most of my sessions, I use an M4, which is just 2 columns in the matrix, which is E and A, existence and attributes, because my mind's so organized now from doing so many of these things that I don't need the columns. I just know what's there and the things about what's there. But
What step is this called, please?
this is called probing your general sketch. Probing your general sketch, or your scan sketches, your pictographs.
Is that the first time you're probing your sketches? You don't do it as you're going along and sketching in your D part, or do you just wait and probe now?
When you do part D and you quickly do your sketch and you move on to the next scan, you don't go back and revisit that until now. Now,
I mean, you don't probe as you're sketching it.
right. Say,
I thought
In the collector, you can probe.
oh, you can probe in the collector, right, right. Sorry. Correct. You can probe in the collector to get general attributes of things. But this is where you get the very specific attributes of it. Because when you're probing in the collector, you're not adding self-direction. You're just probing and writing the first thing that comes to mind. Here, you are actively asking questions as you probe.
That's a good idea. That's great.
Oh my gosh, it opens up the entire session and takes it from a level that's very general to a level that's very specific very quickly. Now, when you're done with this element, you move on to the next element. Here, it looks like a subject, but it might not be a subject. Don't assume. So probe it, find out is it a subject, ask yourself. One thing that is difficult to determine is gender of subjects, because some people, sexuality is on a continuum. Most people have a feminine energy and masculine energy. Some people are more one way or the other. For example, when viewers who don't know me very well, people that don't know me very well view me, at first they think I'm a guy. Always. They always think I'm a guy because I'm very analytical. I have a lot of male type energy. I'm not a prissy person.
Short hair.
No
makeup, hardly.
Yeah, aside from all that lipstick in the purse. I just carry it around. I don't wear it.
Well, so do a lot of men, so
She needs to be able to share.
So, yeah, just the kind of clothes I wear, stuff like that. So people think I'm a guy when they first view me. Some people do. But it doesn't mean that I am a guy. I feel very much a female person and think I have a lot of feminine energy, but I guess that's up for debate. But so one thing that we do when you're probing this person and you want to figure out what the gender of this actually, gender is what you think about yourself. Your sex is what you technically are physically, chromosomally. So if you want to assign the sex to this person, what we do is as you're probing, we do what we call a gender probe. And you put your pen down, put your paper down, and you put out your hand and you feel. And if there's something there, you've got a guy. And it really
C-cup.
Exactly. It really works.
Yeah.
So
Is that really what you
yes, you do. You put your hand out, literally put your hand out, and you feel.
Yeah.
And you said there was no fun for guys in this.
Really?
That's right.
Si and I were doing a dead body recently,
That's right.
and I had to determine what the gender was. So I was monitoring Si, and so I had Si do a gender probe on a dead body. Oh. Thank you for doing it, sir.
I asked her, you want me to do okay.
We needed to know the gender.
That's right.
is that generally instantaneous, or does it take a lot of?
It's in.
She's hoping it takes a lot of time.
Stand there as long as
She like, that's right.
Yeah, the sketch of whom?
Sorry.
No tasting, no licking, no.
Does the other person feel it?
You don't know,
We don't wanna
I
be
mean, you know, it
tasting
could be
smell.
Hitler, you know, do you want to be there if it's Hitler, or Charles Manson?
We don't know what they're like sexually, you know? They can be really hot. You just have to have
Well-
open mind.
Hitler, there's medical records, I mean, he was,
A eunuch or...
he had one where there should be two, so.
That's never bothered me before. I know guys like that. Doesn't make it any different. Sorry.
Okay, moving right along. So you probe the heck out of your person to find out not only their sex, but whether they're young or old, what their activity is, what kind of clothes they're wearing. If it is indeed a human subject, oftentimes viewers will draw a stick figure, draw something that looks very human, when in fact their subject is a dog or a horse or a chicken, just because your brain's telling you it's some kind of a sentient being, so they draw a stick figure. So probing it will tell you a lot about what the person or the being is like. Also probe for things like occupation, and you can also probe to find out what they're thinking. Now we have a more specialized procedure for thoughts, which we'll cover later this afternoon. But you can ask all kinds of questions of your individual. So that's how you probe your sketches. You can go through all your pictograph sketches and all of your general sketch. If you were a good doobie and you put all your pictograph elements together in your general sketch, then you really only need to do the general sketch. But sometimes you leave something out, and you might want to go back to that element you left out and visit it. Now, you talked about...
What we're supposed to do in a general sketch, put everything in it?
You're supposed to put the three elements together. If you drew a subject in scan 1 and a structure in scan 2 and energy in scan 3, your general sketch should have those things in their appropriate relationship to each other.
It could be combined, the energy could be in the structure.
Right, exactly. And you can add more elements in the general sketch. You're supposed to add more at that
You
point.
shouldn't leave anything out.
Well, you can.
I don't know what to do with it, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
you always know what to do with it. You always need to put it in, unless it's meaningless to you after the collector and everything, and it just, maybe it's a duplicate. You did subject twice and it turned out to be...
The same person, like before and after something. Or sometimes, if your monitor instructs you to do a defined collector, for example, but only on scans 1 and 2, then you disregard whatever you got in scan 3 anyway for the duration of the session. And let me give you some examples where that might occur. Say you're doing a forensics case, it's a murder case, and you're looking for the weapon because it's been discarded. Like a good example would be the O.J. Simpson case. Nobody ever found the knife that killed Nicole, right? So say we were looking for the knife. Then we may send you to what the killer did with the knife, where the knife is, and you may get the murder in scan 1, you may get the victim in scan 2, and the knife in scan 3. Well, only scan 3 is really relevant to what you need to know. You don't need to fixate on the rest of it. So the monitor may say, okay, I want you to do a defined collector just on scan number 3, and then from that point on, the rest of it doesn't exist anymore in your universe, just what was in the other thing. So that's the reason we break things down into elements in the scans and why we have the collector, because it allows you to either grab things together and combine them, or to separate elements that maybe you don't need operationally. So does that make sense? Yeah.
Like if you were doing for your general sketch, say if you had like a structure or something and you go inside of it, would you combine that all on one page, or could you use 2 pages for inside and out, or how would you structure that?
Yes. You can use more than 1 page for the general sketch, and I often do that. I sometimes even have 3 pages for the general sketch. If you feel that there's a before and after component to this, or an inside and outside component to this. And some of you guys were doing this naturally in your sessions on the general sketch. You may have been breaking down the page into 2 sections where you said, there's this over here, but then there's this thing. It's separate from it somehow. Sometimes you get the broad picture and then a close-in view.
So I feel like I get a lot of information from the sketching, and
Yeah.
it seems valuable to me. You don't have to crowd it all on 1 page, then I could...
Right.
What Mike said, like do the page number and then A, B, or C.
Right.
Stays in sequence or something.
Exactly. Now, I think this is probably sufficient information before the next session.
I can't see it.
You know what? The beeping, it's driving me the heck crazy. Okay, I have degenerative ear disease, and I have white noise all the tinnitus all the time anyway, and so it's just like my head is going to explode. Yeah.
Can we go outside
Anywhere, but they
on the
hear.
porch?
Yeah. Well, what we're gonna do is assign a session to view, and then you guys. It's beeping downstairs too, I believe.
Well, it's actually just the UPS behind this counter that's making not all the noise. In the lobby, it's quiet, but yeah.
Oh, it's the UPS. Oh well, let me just turn it off.
Then we have to shut
Okay, yeah, forget it, I don't want to touch it. You know what, when we assign the session, we'll turn the camera off and everybody can go find a place that feels good to them. If you don't mind the beeping, you can stay here. If you want to do it outside, you can go outside. That way everyone can find a place that's comfortable.
But good viewers should view anywhere.
Good viewers should view anywhere.
But for that, we'd have to get paid for it.
We get lunch. We've got a couple
I mean, with that
lunches.
beeping
That's
sound, that
good.
hurts my-
We got chocolate, that's.
Yeah.
We got chocolate? Okay, so
What about our headphones and our thingies?
I don't know.
They're on batteries.
they're on batteries.
Okay.
most of them.
Oh yeah, use the headphones. Now, okay. Other things that you can do at this level of the matrix before you move on to more specialized procedures, which we'll cover later, are shifting and focusing exercises. And this is where you change your perspective, because people come in differently to the objective. Sometimes you may come in and you're very small and the objective's very big. Sometimes you come in and you're very big and the objective is very small. So there are a bunch of exercises that you can do. Now there are no set number or specific exercises that you must follow, but there is a general template that we use, and you can put your own language in this. What you would do is say you're probing your structure here in the general sketch, and you want to learn more about this structure. And you're getting good information, but you want to kind of tie it all together. You can write in your session, focus on the central structure. And the act of writing that down will change your perspective immediately to the best orientation for describing what's occurring at that structure. So you would write focus on the central structure, and then just describe what comes out. Usually you get a stream of IS type of information at that point instead of simple words. You can focus on the subject. You can move 360 degrees around the structure and describe as you go. You can move to a comfortable distance in front of the structure and describe. And that, if you're viewing something and it just feels so vast, maybe I give you the Andromeda Galaxy, and it's so huge that it's just a big swirly mess of energy, you can't figure it out. So move to a comfortable distance in front of the structure and describe, or the energetic. Yes, ma'am?
Sometimes I can't tell how many feet or something, so if I want to know what the size of something, I'll make like a person shape, like a human size, and I'll compare it to the human size, and then if I want to move in the target, I'll move into that human shape to get up close to something, to get a relative size. Like people compare it to a penny or something.
Right.
I'll use the human figure, and then I find that helps me move, is to like move into that human
Right.
shape there.
What we do is called blending, and that's the next thing I was going to talk about, and that's you can also become the structure or become the individual. And we call that blending or morphing. You morph with structures and you blend with people. And so if you wanted to become the structure, you would write down morph with the structure. And at that moment, your body literally is that structure. The top of your head is the top of the structure. The bottoms of your feet is the bottom of the structure. And you will feel it in your body as physical sensations. What is occurring with that structure? It's extremely helpful.
You end up, usually in that case, you end up giving first-person data.
Usually you give first-person data. I feel this way. I am doing this. I am 10 feet tall, and inside, my central compartments, I am blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Yes?
What do you want to morph?
Morph with the structure.
And you just write it anywhere.
Write on the paper, wherever you are in the matrix. Write it in your matrix.
your
Morph with
matrix
this
sheet?
on your matrix sheet.
Okay, where do you write your information?
Right underneath that. So,
Across the page, you don't have to
It
put
usually
the
comes
column.
out as a paragraph or so.
yeah, you write morph with the structure, just right here, and then whatever. You would either put it in the columns if you're just getting little words, or IS it and get big paragraphs. Usually it's paragraphs at this point in the session. You should be pulling large chunks of data together. And you can blend with the subject. Now, if this is a traumatic event, and we're not giving anything traumatic here, but if I had given you, you know, like the rape and murder of some child, you know, don't blend with the victim in this. There's no sense putting yourself through that. So, you know, use common sense if you're a viewer, if you're a monitor, if you're a tasker in this way, and don't have your viewer or don't yourself as a viewer blend or morph with things that could be psychologically disturbing to you. If we're going for a perpetrator, there's only a couple of people in my group I would feel comfortable having blend with the perp, and that's only because they're objective enough and have done a lot of this kind of work. But most people, no way would I have them blend with the subject. No way. But when you're blended with the subject, you know everything about that person's body. You know whether you've got tattoos on your arm. You know whether you're wearing, you know, sandals or you're barefoot. You feel it. You really feel like that person. Wayne?
Yeah, just to comment, when I have people blend with subjects, I make sure they have a clear way in and a clear way out, so that if they do feel uncomfortable, that they can just step out clearly.
Yeah, when you're done blending or you want to unblend, you just write unblend on the paper and drop your pen. Or unmorph and drop your pen, and immediately you're back. Your own self, you don't feel like that person anymore.
Make sure you drop the pen.
Dropping the pens are important. Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever blend with like the ET?
All the time. It's my fave thing to do.
I have no idea. I just, you know.
Did you notice a difference?
Not really. Yes.
Let's say you were going, you're going into this blind though, and let's say even your monitor didn't know, or only
The tasker knows.
The tasker knows, and the tasker.
But let's say that the RVer just decided to go blend with it anyway, or does that happen? I mean, is that something that,
Well, the tasker is ultimately responsible.
The tasker is responsible, so the tasker will tell you in the viewing instructions, do not blend during this session.
Now,
Okay.
if you blended with a killer rapist, a pedophile, would you trust that tasker next time around?
You'd never view anything they gave you again.
No.
They'd be off your list.
We have ethical standards
Yeah.
and responsibility to our fellow viewers. We're not going to do anything to damage them.
And it's not gonna literally harm you, but it's stressful, But you're not gonna turn into a rapist or a murderer because you happen to become that person in the body of the session. You're still yourself during this. You're just able to walk into that person's body and describe everything that's there. It's very visceral, and it's an interesting sensation. It gives you a different perspective, and you'll find that the flavor of your data changes from being something that's more objective and describing what's there to describing what the subject feels about what's there. So you're like looking through that subject's eyes, you can look at the structure, and you'll get different kinds of data than you as the viewer looking at that structure will get, because it's their idea about it, not your objective idea about it.
Is that what you did to me at Clearwater?
That's exactly what I did. I
You
blended.
could have figured that stuff out.
I blended with the person in the envelope, which was
My
you.
knee was
Yeah.
wobbly, and that's how.
But you could get that without blending, couldn't you?
Yeah, but it's a hell of a lot easier. Yeah.
You can still get the info.
Yeah, you can.
Instantly, speed of thought.
You just become, so that was you during that, yeah. I know more of your secrets, I didn't write them down.
So if somebody lost
I don't have that
something, you
many
could blend with them. If you blended with somebody and they lost something and they didn't consciously know where it was, then you could look at their subconscious and tell where it was? You know where my diamond ring is? No.
Well, it's very simple to
Something
do.
like that, somebody could do it, yeah.
What you do is you go to the time, and you can do this in the session too. You can move temporally as well. Move to the time when the subject lost the object. Then blend with the subject. Then you're there, and I'm taking something off my hand and I'm putting it, blah blah blah.
So somebody doesn't have to consciously know what.
No.
Okay.
No.
But don't blend with any Secret Service agents or CIA agents or anything.
Again, it's a tool, not a toy.
Exactly.
tool, not a toy.
We have made mistakes in the past when we were exuberant and new at this and excited about being able to figure out anything. But we learned the harsh way, as we're learning today.
Yes.
Are there
That,
tribes in like some of the religions of the world that are huge? Do they have people that do this and that guard their secrets? So
You can't, okay, this is a very good question. Some viewers feel that you can be blocked from certain kinds of objectives or targets. And I do not feel that there is anything that can block a remote viewer unless you believe in blocking. If you believe in blocking, then someone's mental construct can stop you.
Okay.
But if you believe that there is no such a thing and that it's just someone's crazy idea, then it's impervious to you. So that's another reason why people...
That doesn't work with full power.
Yeah, exactly. It's all smoke and mirrors on that level.
If they could block us, then why would they do the power thing?
Our basic
Exactly.
They would just block us.
Exactly.
Have you blended with
And they know that we don't, think that way, so, yeah.
If you
One of the
blended with
best
Jesus like
plans
you
is
blend with
Gandhi.
me, I would like to know what you're
Do
working
yourself a treat and blend with Gandhi.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we do this for fun sometimes. You pick a Buddha. Okay. In Extravaganza 2, once a year, we hold a 2-week-long intensive train, 14 straight days, called Extravaganza. But it's only for the people that are really wanting to become full-time with us, And our last Extravaganza, we had one of the students it was the enlightenment of the Buddha. Oh. And he blended with the Buddha. Yay! The Buddha! And while he was the Buddha, he was all blissed out there. And he was this guy who was so anal. I mean, he's incredibly anal. Just, man, hard to get him to do a damn thing, but he blended with the Buddha, and he was just holding court. And everyone knew he was blended with the Buddha, so the viewers were coming up to him. He didn't know. He was just blended with the subject. And the viewers were coming up to him and asking him, all the major questions of the universe. What's the nature of time? It was really funny, and he was, telling them all this amazing stuff. It was amazing. It was really cool, so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It has to be done blind. You just can't, or otherwise you're probably going to, you have to have a blind target to do that probably.
It is best to do it as a blind objective, but you can do it you can do anything front-loaded. It's just a question of how much your mind's going to kind of trip you up there. People that are very experienced can do it front-loaded with a minimum amount of contamination, which is really just your own ideas about things, your own perception about it. You want to keep as objective a view as possible, so it's better to be blind to it. So for the remainder of the day, if you get a structure, morph with the structure. If you get a subject, blend with the subject. I can tell you a blanket observation right now that we will not give you anything that you cannot blend or morph with today. So we'll give you all kinds of interesting things, but let me say, different people have weird fixations or obsessions or upsetness things about different things. So even though I think whatever we're given is totally for blending or morphing, if you don't like what you're looking at, then don't do it. Don't do it. Just unblend or don't blend in the first place, okay? So don't feel like you have to do anything in a session. The viewer is in charge always. The viewer runs the session. And so now we're going to do a session right now. So get your stuff to cool down. We can go in the other room. We can move everything over there. We'll do a nice 15-minute cool down to get going, and we've got something interesting as usual.
We do a little break first?
Let's do a little break. Little break while we... Just make sure this is off.
Oh, jeez.
backwards in time. Feel free to move around your objective to blend or morph with anything.
Feel free to rise above it, 6 above it. Probing individual elements of your GS, feel free to number or label them 1 or A, B or C, 2 or 3, and then give us that corresponding number in your matrix probe so we can understand it.
I wrote it down.
just rewarding good work. That's really funny. This is great. Oh my goodness.
I think I did everything.
Did you blend?
But it will work now.
I tried these mine.
All you have to do is write down the subject or more structure.
That's an interesting step to do.
Blending them up.
Yeah, probing and more.
Absolutely. It gets more specific data. You can go back in, you're always connected. You go back in, you can do it. You're always connected to your targets. How you doing, Fortune?
What kind of morph with the structure here?
All you have to do is morph with structure. Okay, right there. Then morph with structure. Anywhere there, let's just start writing. Whatever comes, that's what we get, what you get. Just start writing. It comes automatic. Touch morph and touch structure, curl it, those 2 words, and you're there. Bingo. You're there. Just start to write.
Are we done?
Just about. We're doing a little morphing.
Okay.
How you doing, Sandy?
Just tried to walk through a wall in the bathroom.
Okay. Another 5 minutes.
We have not taught the transmutation yet.
This is Carlos customized stuff. I'll just walk through the wall. I can do this. I guess not.
Do you want me to turn this on?
Yeah, whatever possible.
Sorry.
Why don't you invite everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody want to come back in?
Wrap it up.
Hey, folks,
Wait till they're all seated.
I'm going to.
How'd y'all like that?
Interesting, wasn't it?
Fatiguing. What? Fatiguing? Fatiguing. Oh, that's a good way to look
Good way to look at it. Okay, we saw some just amazing work here,
Absolutely incredible work.
and we had a lot of fun.
A lot of laughs.
A lot of laughs watching this one. You guys went to Madonna's peak sexual experience.
Look at this. Looking around. Like, oh my God.
Let's look at the picture.
It wasn't my imagination.
Let's go to the videotape.
I think Eva is going to win a prize today.
I missed the boat on that one.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Like a person, what if you did in a monastery?
Look at your GS. It's the session.
I never thought I would
Look at
win
your GS.
peak sexual experience.
Maybe she did it in her own monastery.
What do you think?
I think we all need to come over and look at some of these sessions. Let's all, and yeah, let's look at Eva's session right now.
Some grass and swamp.
It's long, but I'll take it out of here.
This is the one Sam you had yesterday.
That's not a dog.
Let's just say that the statement was that the theme of the day is penetration.
Okay, so this is what Eva has right here.
A pussy.
Exactly.
And the most important counterpart, of course.
Exactly. Okay, so here's Eva's session. She has something rounded and something more pointy. And she gets probing, questioning, searching for answers, exploration at a rocket launch.
Rocket launch.
Rocket launch. And the next page she gets warm, energy, exciting. She gets launching, surging, pulsing, strobing, rapid fire, rat-a-tat-tat pulse.
My goodness.
It just gets better. It just gets better.
Good job.
The next page she gets something that's segmented, analytical, ridged, stiff, ramrod straight. Intelligent, smart, all-seeing, perceptive, radar, picks up signals. It's tall, long, and stretched out.
They don't get good.
Like a little Tweedledug.
Pictures get good, man.
I even put stickers on her session. It was so good. She gets, it's easy to push down, get across, it hides something. Push it down! Exclamation point.
Get away from me.
Unstable, weaved, woven layers, intertwined, weaves into and through and around things. It passes through. And then she draws this big, tall, hard thing and says it has phallic energy. And then she gets sway from side to side, rolling waves, white hot and thrusting. Could be danger, fierce, intense. Not dangerous to me, though, it says. Interest, watching, keen vision, watching.
Go ahead and post that. PR. Post that on your website.
I know it. We're gonna post this one. Hard, stiff metal, awakening, surprises for the first time. Then she draws this arrow between two circular things. A little teeny tiny thing. Yellow, warm, cold chills, feverish and sweaty. And she gets tall and strong, tailing, following, and something shooting up into the air.
Wow.
Donna was a virgin.
That's right.
Now she's like a virgin.
Condensed. This is hilarious. Condensed, concentrated, packed into.
I can imagine what that was.
And then there's something spurting out of this hole. Expanding outward, peacefully calm. There is a thickness to the air. I think my son should leave the room.
He's old enough.
He's old enough. He's heard it all before. Slimy, slippery, a tight space to make space. It's white, it's ethereal, wispy, wet and cloud-like. Skinny legs.
I don't think you read that right. Did I really write skinny legs?
Legs and skinny.
Legs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't think those should go together.
Oh, okay. Long, far, many. Hanging, floating. Eternal, not eternal. Misty, slowly expanding.
Smoking a cigarette.
Exactly. Relaxing, calm. Has thin skin that can be packed and penetrated.
Oh, Steve. Not like a virgin.
This is the only time I've ever done it.
Poking is okay.
We're right.
Poking is okay. If not too hard, it feels good. The poking affects the surrounding area.
Could we get you any more red?
Okay, and then the very end, the thick liquid area, thick and weighty, sealed off.
Can you
No,
smell
the
her?
best is the last statement.
The last statement, which is still in her book, she says, penetration is the theme of the day.
Taste smells.
Eva, which present would you like?
This is the only time when I've actually,
Wonderful one.
when I was thinking the whole time turned out to be correct. Usually it's totally wrong.
You know, there's
Okay.
a lot there's a lot of things in here that now make sense.
Yeah, what is it?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Guided meditation.
It's a theta
I
state.
don't know what she was doing with this
Set.
Wow.
but
Slick, tan, small.
This is the only time I ever felt like I really know it was in this session. I kept thinking, I'm like, all right, don't get out of castle building fest here. Hang in here, remind me.
Septic, I guess, would be.
Septic, I know, yeah, ew.
It's the same general area.
It's the same area.
Passages.
Joyce, you had some good images.
Oh, Joyce had some good, Bill had some great stuff too. A man with an axe, holding up, and it was like holding up a big axe like this. It was, angled in the appropriate direction.
Well, I kept getting,
Bill got a
heavy flow
a heavy
out of
flow.
a cake, but it wasn't water quite, it was white.
Exactly.
And it was gooey.
And it was gooey, exactly. You tasted it.
It tasted gooey.
Everybody had a great set.
This was great. You got a big pink valley.
Big Pink Valley.
Mine was small and red.
This vortex thing, this valley thing, I kept coming up.
So Alex writes in his, and we'll embarrass Alex.
Stand up, Alex.
I got the butterfly. Now the butterfly makes some sense.
Alex draws a nice skinny thing with a happy face. He says it's thin, tall, long, it's everlasting.
Fountain. I got a couple of those.
He says it's underwater, it's dirty. He has a headache. He says it's purple, he's getting accident. Purpose? What? It's damp. It's stormy. Things going out of the water. Oh man, feels like a rich person, he says. Very good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a lighthouse, rocks, rowboats. So he's getting a submarine. Classic imagery.
Take it out.
Oh wait, was this the page? One of these pages he writes. He writes Captain's Log.
Starts to give you
Cylindrical, sinking, helpful. He writes, describe the personalities, assholes.
Oh my.
Oh,
I know it wasn't negative.
Oh man, that was great, Alex. Don't tell your dad anything about this. He'll contest custody in a heartbeat. Oh man, I need some cold water.
Got a time, whatever. I haven't heard this much excitement in 3 years.
You have no idea what we're doing.
Joyce has got
The guy in the office down the street. Oh man, everyone has good stuff. Okay, Scott was getting a big male dog.
You tell us a lot about the style.
That's funny. It tells you a lot about what's going on.
One of my sketches.
I know. Look at wait. You couldn't get me closer than that.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
That about says it up.
The subject interfacing with
Pulsing.
object energy release, finding its way down. Volcanic, thumping, pulsing, happy
It's funny
vibrant.
how the males got male imagery, the females got female imagery. You all got combinations of that.
Fortune got a canopy bed. 5 minutes, guys. That's right.
Very important.
Well, I got real strong, as I said, from the homework, I got a very strong phallic image. And the title of it was I Was Way Off From Where It Was, which is the contents of your purse.
Oh, there it
Right.
is.
The question I have is, can you see something or pretend something that hasn't happened yet? For instance,
I miss it out.
like a premonition, because my first title was either a rock star blasts off into space or the best sex ever had with an alien.
Tells you something about Madonna.
Oh,
no!
no!
Oh, man.
Is that alien?
What's up?
Shouldn't have said that.